There we go.
Yeah, Pink is now for the first time seeing my character look like a complete mess of a human being.
You look
Yeah.
like
Drooling,
Cookie Monster.
Google eyes. I kind of do look like Cookie
Yeah.
Monster. Let me look at my inventory. Yeah, I don't remember. Yeah, I kind of do, actually. I kind of do.
Dude, I have cookies here. I should be eating them.
If one of us finds
I
a
don't-
jungle, I can make Minecraft cookies.
I have not found anything
the
resembling
jungle?
a jungle at all. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can get the cocoa beans.
Oh.
Yeah.
And while I'm here, let me see. I've got an assortment of.
All I've found is stupid forest and tundra. And
Yeah.
water.
I have not found yet. I mean, again, as Alex said, we haven't explored too much, but yeah, not a whole lot yet. A lot of tundra. A little more tundra than I would like, but
Where do you get iron?
dig
iron,
in,
you
but
gotta
don't
mine.
go too deep. Yeah, mining. Surface level seems to be bringing more coal than anything, so you're going to want to go a little bit deep, but... Which, Pink, I've been engaging a project. I don't know if you've noticed. I'll find you and lead you to it.
I've not noticed any of you guys' stuff. I've been concentrating specifically upon me.
And
Perfect way to
exploding.
play.
Yes.
So I should get a stone path going to this.
But I have
place.
4 llamas to show for it.
Where did you get the
found
llamas?
4 llamas? Yeah.
Good question. I'm not going to answer that.
Oh, you think you're the first one to do that, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
Nobody gets to check what's buried underneath my house.
You have way too many chickens, by the way.
Oh, it's
Okay.
a lot. Oh, Jesus.
That's I was out there trying to put torches down to make sure that didn't happen to Pink, and of course that happens to me as a result. All right, let me go pick up my shit.
I'm walking on over to Pink's house. I'll be there momentarily.
As will I. You've stretched out your land so much that you can basically see. Well, what is this other? No, I thought I was looking at Pink's place. There's some other thing out here that you built. I guess that's a different outpost. It's got like a little obelisk of torches.
Oh, yeah, that little fountain I put down just to get some lighting
Oh,
out
it's
there.
a fountain.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Pink, come with me.
And please don't take my stuff. It'll be very confusing.
Yeah, I don't know where you died, but I haven't seen it, so I won't be picking it up.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'll live if you take it. It's fine. We can always trade back or whatever, but it'll just be a mess as to remembering who had what.
Yeah. So I have dug a tunnel straight through this hill from my farm to yours.
Nice.
And there
Really
are all
pretty
kinds of
impressive.
little side tunnels I've started to dig that when you get into them, you're going to find coal, maybe a bit of iron, an unfortunate amount of copper. You can see there's a copper vein right here on the floor. I haven't even bothered digging it. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, we've all been pretty much ignoring copper. It's so easy to get.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this.
You've been very industrious. Again, I think it was
There's
the
a
last
lot of
recording.
chickens.
That is a lot of chickens.
Way.
That is an
You've got like
obscene amount.
100 of them, maybe even more.
Look at all those eggs.
Yeah. Yeah, you can go ahead.
You know how
into
many
the-
omelets
and the
that
eggs.
is?
If you hop on into the pen, if you open that gate and help yourself, you can just take all those eggs. I don't care.
I'm gonna wind up with like 50 of them. I went through and grabbed about a dozen or so, just briefly going through to try and replenish your chickens.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So that's how you can get some chickens back at your place now.
How come the eggs only stack up to 16? It's ridiculous.
I don't know. That's like
You're
old
telling me I
school
can
mi-
have 64 wood blocks, but I can't have 64 eggs?
Yeah, that's like
oddly
old,
specific.
yeah, it's old school Minecraft. I don't know why they put that limit in at the time.
Because they're stupid.
Yeah.
Possibly.
And the Notch says that the women are conspiring against us. Us old-fashioned
is
barbarian men of the old days.
See, I guess to go from one controversy to the other, is that what he was saying? You said that he said some weird things. Was that one
That's
of
the
them?
last I saw. I wasn't looking
That
into it
women
too
are
deeply.
trying to Like what? The matriarchy is getting out of control or some shit.
One of those kinds of things, like one of the. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but last I
Who
looked into it,
cares? Not gonna sue us. Fuck them.
but I want to say it was something like when I last looked into it, it was like he was going on about the Nordic man and all this or that or another.
Uh-oh.
Well, probably not. I don't remember if it was explicitly Nordic man because that gets
You're going in a
into
certain
racial
direction when you start saying that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Nordic men with their strong blonde hair and vibrant blue eyes.
I love the rippling muscles. We need to push Nordic men for SummerSlam.
Nordic men to the summers. Yeah.
Puff my Nordic balls match.
I
This
just think
Lance
that
Storm.
concept could get any stranger, and it did.
This Lance Storm. I want to see his big bulge. The censors won't allow it. Get the cup out. What
gotta-
cup?
Yeah.
I appreciate deforming true stories into nonsense.
We always do it. It's one of the funniest things. I do it all the time. I like being hyperbolic and taking existing nonsense and making it even more nonsensical.
Like, especially taking Lance Storm. I love Lance Storm. Lance Storm
Seems
would be
like
the
a
first
decent person.
Yeah, and Lance Storm would be the first to tell you he is not Mr. Personality. So taking any story of him and making it infinitely wackier is just instant gold.
I remember one comic he made. I was listening to. I listened to a shoot of his, and I guess for better or worse, predictably or not, it was pretty forgettable. Like
Yeah.
I forget everything, but
He's
his
just kind of a nice, swell guy.
yeah, just a regular guy. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like
Um,
super Canadian too. Like, there's a lot of Canadian wrestlers who don't have really thick Canadian accents, but my memory is Lance is really Canadian.
I don't remember that. I actually remember very, very little, other than what I was going to say, which is that the one thing that really stuck out to me was when he was talking about Goldberg and how he would have been like he would have liked to have been pushed as much as Goldberg, and everyone of course thought the same way and everything like that. But he said that at one point he was going to wrestle Goldberg, and Goldberg whatever like didn't want to. I guess like he did. I don't think it was ever an
After
issue of Lance
Regal,
Storm.
I think Goldberg had his fill of legit shooter technicians.
That might have been what it was because Lance said something along. He said something about how he wanted he wanted it to be a short match. He didn't really want to deal with him, something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was, but what I remember was Lance's response, which was something like, "Well, Goldberg, the rest of us like to be paid too."
Yeah.
Just like, well, we kind of also want to earn a living.
I remember. He's apparently changed a little bit though, because I followed him on Twitter for a while, and at one point someone tweeted at him, WCW should have pushed you more." And Lance tweeted back, "They put 3 belts on me at the same time. What more did you want?"
Yeah.
When he was in the middle of the
That's an oddly humble
Canadian Hero
answer.
run.
Oh yeah, okay. Which 3 belts were they?
Ooh. Because he plastered, they were all kind of vaguely America themed or America.
He was
connected.
United States champion, television champion, and tag team champions with somebody else.
And he pasted the Canadian flag very lazily over the front of all of them, because
Yes.
that's his gimmick.
Yes.
That's one thing that always gets me is like the evil foreign Canadian heel. It's like Canada's right up there, and us Americans pretty well just think of them as being slightly different America. Is this really gonna work as a foreign heel gimmick?
It's foreign enough.
It's for as long. There's a lot of people out there who, if it's not American, then it's one of them foreign places.
Right?
What band was it that had an album named Eat American or something like that?
What?
It sounds like something Rammstein might have done.
No, it was actually American themselves. I almost want to say
Oh.
Offspring or something.
Oh, I think
Offspring
you're
had
right.
Americana.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
thinking.
Offspring had Americana. Who had Eat American? Hang on, I'm gonna pull up Spotify on my phone and look up the album.
All right,
Wouldn't have been Green
Oh.
Day. Green Day had American Idiot.
Idiot. Which supposedly was about Bush specifically.
I can see that was part of it, yeah.
Yeah, they were pretty vocal about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I might have gone and got
But
myself
their vocals
lost.
are never really all that good.
What wasn't good?
Their vocals.
I like
Oh.
a few of their songs a lot.
No,
No.
not a fan of Green Day.
Oh, okay.
I love a lot of Green Day, and also You're Dumb. I had it wrong. I like the idea of an album named Eat American, which I guess is why my brain made it up. What I had it mixed up was Jimmy Eat World. Oh, I mixed Jimmy Eat World and their album Bleed American.
Ah,
I can see why you would, though. It's a very close combination of words there.
Man, you swap them. Eat American is one thing. Jimmy Bleed World?
I never understood Jimmy Eat World. What is? I mean, that's obviously it means something specific, I guess, beyond just what the words themselves mean. But I
was
don't know the
assumed it was
reference
tied to
or
Boy
the-
Meet World.
Oh, Jimmy Eat World, Boy Meet World. Yeah, okay, that's probably true.
They should have tied that into the Bray documentary somehow. Bray Eat World. Bray
You
Wyatt.
know,
The title of the documentary: Bray Wyatt: Boy Eats World.
I was never a fan of the whole calling him the Eater of Worlds. I wasn't really watching at that time though, so I've never really been watching since 2011.
I don't think
So-
it had any significance at the time.
It's just
I
another
think
one
it
of
was
those
just
fucking
one
things.
of those. Yeah,
it's,
yeah.
that's literally
Give him a
just a
nickname,
man
he has
giving
to
you a
have-
moniker for no good
Yeah.
reason because everybody needed a moniker.
I've always hated that so much. I've said it a million times before. The devil's favorite demon. Like what? Can't he can't be just
I'll
Cain.
take
That's not
Devil's
enough.
favorite
Okay.
demon over Big Red Machine.
I actually like Big Red Machine better. They're
I'm
both
actually, I'm
dumb.
in favor of Big Red
To
Machine.
me,
Yeah, I
it sounds
mean, they're-
dopey. Like, oh,
Oh, it does.
it's me, Kane, Big Red Machine.
Yeah, but Devil's favorite demon. That sounds like so fucking. That's like cringe. That's such a corny statement.
It is.
He's the devil's favorite demon. Like what? Okay, like I mean I get it. It's wrestling. It's all fake. It's all hyperbole. But like let's break it down. He's not a demon. He's presumably never met the devil. How is he the devil's favorite demon? And in what way does that possibly relate to his wrestling ability? None.
Well-
None at all. At least Big
Well,
Red Machine
Vince
makes it
also
sound like
had
he's
Taker
tough.
go to heaven, so
Yeah, that was Ted. I think is the most passionately. I think he said the most passionate comments
I mean,
about
Ted-
that particular development. Oh, it was horrible.
oh, it was awful. I love Ted. Ted is absolutely the kind of guy that you do one thing he hates once, and he will just say, "All right, fuck you forever."
He did seem to always hate the Undertaker forever from that point forward. I think he might have hated him before that, but I know that would have tipped it over the edge.
For years, I could not figure out why he hated Christian. And I was always like, well, Christian's overrated. I agree. Christian doesn't...
What?
Like, Christian's good. Christian is good. Christian is very good. Christian is not greatest of all time. And there's a lot of people who think Christian's greatest of all time.
Well,
And, like... But I could never understand the sheer vitriol that Ted had towards Christian. And I didn't until, like, a few months ago... Ted was talking Christian with G-Man, because G-Man's the sort of guy who would say Christian's greatest of all time. And
Sure.
I don't even mean that as a fucking stray shot against G-Man. That is actually the sort of thing G-Man says.
he's the kind of asshole who'd say that.
He is an asshole, and he's dumb. But more importantly, this time I wasn't trying to say that he's an asshole or dumb, just he loves Christian, and he has said before that, I believe he has more or less said in the past that Christian's one of the greatest of all time. I'm not necessarily saying we gotta go to sleep. I'm hitting the bed so I don't get the nightmare demon.
I
Okay,
did
if you want to go to
a-
sleep.
What?
Yeah, give me
There's a nightmare
30
demon?
seconds. Kind of. Yeah.
If you go, like,
I'm going
3
to
or 4
bed. Go
nights-
ahead.
If you go like 3 or 4 nights in a row without sleeping, then any night from that point forward, a new mob will spawn that is a weird manta ray in the sky that swoops down at you.
Oh, hell no. I'm not dealing with that.
Yeah, if you so much as just lay down in a bed for a second, though, it makes it where you don't get visited by the nightmare demon thing.
Which is really weird when you think about it.
It is, yeah.
If I can find my bed, I'll sleep in it. Where the fuck is it?
Alright, while you find your bed, I'm gonna find cookies. I'll be right back.
And over here, I have you ever heard of Pocky?
Yes, it's delicious.
Yes, while I was at the International Grocery Store, I got green tea Pocky.
Oh, I take that back. That's
Oh,
hideous
it's-
and you're weird.
It's excellent. I've had it once before. I had to grab it when I saw it there. I had to grab it.
I want my treats to taste like treats, not disgusting English people nonsense.
Well, green tea isn't English. It's more Chinese.
Oh, fuck them then too. Anyone who makes food taste like crap, they can piss off.
We're going on the list. All of China, all of England.
Anyone who is an American. I hate that. I'm about fed up with this country anyway as well, so all of them can piss off. Every country and all the people in them.
Blow up the center of the world.
Yeah, you know, it wouldn't be the first time that I said, you know, it'd be great if all the humans were gone, the world was left to the animals, because they probably wouldn't fuck it up.
Beavers would find a way.
Beavers would find a way. Speaking of find a
Evolutionarily
way, I'm
speaking,
trying to find a place that's got a bed, by the way. I'm not just sticking around here, because my bed's apparently gone. Here's one. Okay. Sorry, what were you just saying, Alex?
I mean, chimpanzees have already figured out war and slavery.
Yeah, they figured out slavery.
Yeah.
How does that...
Chimpanzees are the devil.
Oh, they're horrible animals. I hate them.
My understanding is that they're very vicious, untrustworthy creatures.
Yeah.
They're the ones you never hear about gorillas. Well, most people don't keep gorillas as pets, to be fair, but you never hear about anything other than chimpanzees going wild and eating the fucking faces and limbs of their owners.
And then, like, what was it? It like, fucking, it like did weird sexual things to the wife too.
It did?
Yeah.
The one who owned a chimp who then went and like attacked and ate the face of her friend. Or are we talking about the same one?
Yeah, something like that. That chimpanzee that went berserk and did all that, like, also did something like weirdly sexual too.
To the owner?
Yeah.
Huh. I have to look
mean,
into that. Like, she didn't approve of it. I'm hoping, right?
No, I think it was in the same instant.
Weird.
After it had already gone berserk and like fucked up the one guy.
We might be thinking of a different one then, because the one I'm thinking of, it attacked a woman.
A lot of chimpanzee attacks. You're probably thinking of several different situations.
Yeah, I actually think that's legit. There was a chimp. There was a woman who owned a chimp, who went crazy and attacked a friend of hers because it had a toy that the chimp loved, and the chimp thought that it was stealing the toy, that she was stealing the toy or something like that.
Okay, this is a
attacked
different
the
incident.
woman. Yeah. This one, the chimp wound up literally eating the woman's face, ate off her arms, and then the chimp then immediately ran back into the house when the police came to shoot it, and it died there. So there was no sexual thing. So you're definitely thinking of a different one. But I'm curious to hear the story, though.
Yeah, the story I recall, it's been a long time since I've heard it, was, so I am going off recollection if I get anything wrong, is it was an older couple had a chimpanzee. An old fella, an old lady, you know. And at some point, the chimp just abruptly goes berserk. I don't even remember why. And like they said, it was perfectly loving up until then. And the husband, the old husband, it like fucks him up, and I think it. Oh, I forget. I don't think it necessarily ate his face off, because that's the famous one, is the chick who got her face ate off. There we go. But it fucks him up, and then it starts doing weird sexual things after it fucked up the wife as well.
Okay.
Which, sometimes you wouldn't think animals would try to do that, but there was that incident in like the 50s or 60s when they were doing that weird study on that dolphin. When the dolphin started to get, like, they had it in the 60s, the 50s or 60s, before they developed, you know, science having to follow moral rules, back when scientists could just do whatever. I'm not joking. This is like a
no, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and especially if the U.S. government funded it, which I believe this was U.S. government funded. I don't remember what our plan was with this. I don't remember if we were trying to figure out how to
we ever had
weaponize.
plans for anything we did?
Yeah, there's a lot of shit that we've just seemingly just did to fuck people's lives up for no fucking reason. But
sounds about right. See, that's people. That goes back to what I was saying that led to this conversation. But go on.
But it was oh shit. It was were we planning to weaponize dolphins? I don't remember. But like,
I kind of think so. Actually, I think there's either that's a joke or that is true. I've heard that before.
Well, for a while we were trying to figure out if we could use cats as spies, which was one thing. But the dolphin, we had a woman live in this like partially submerged house with a dolphin for like a year, and like we weren't making any progress. I think we were trying to figure out if dolphins could speak English or something stupid like that. Something like profoundly fucking stupid, like how did this get funding?
Yeah.
Then you remember this is the same U.S. government that
What
let J.
didn't
Edgar.
get funded back then?
Yeah, like this is the same U.S. government that let J. Edgar Hoover run wild, and J. Edgar Hoover was mailing Dr. King letters telling him to kill himself. And like, yeah, the '60s, brother.
Yeah.
It was a
Fun
rollicking time,
Yeah.
in every sense of the word.
Yeah.
But yeah, they weren't reaching any progress in getting the dolphin to learn English. So one of the things they tried was like, okay, well, the dolphin living with her for a year had started to get confused, I guess, and you know went through puberty and so on. So the dolphin was just like, whatever, she's the only female thing nearby, and it started to like float towards her upside down, signaling towards its dick, because dolphins are rather smart animals. Which is why we were thinking we could teach it English, I think. But either
I
way,
guess.
and like signaling, like touch me and so on. And the lady was going like, no. And eventually the scientists went like, well, we're not getting any progress here. We think you're gonna have to do it. So they already,
What?
yeah, they did that, which didn't yield progress. Dolphin still wasn't learning to speak English. So they're like, well, we know the next natural leap of logic here is, the next plan is we're going to have you both drop acid. And then they did.
Okay.
And then I think, oh, yeah, that also, of course, naturally failed to make the dolphin speak English. And then afterwards, the dolphin got so depressed because it wasn't getting laid or interacting with any of the dolphins. So the dolphin killed itself by asphyxiation.
Did it strangle itself with its little dolphin flippers?
It's like, it like surfaced and chose to stay above the surface and drown from like whatever, like reverse drown. I don't know. It was like one of the most insane stories I've ever read. I need to send you it afterwards because it's like. And then afterwards, like, naturally the scientists report back to the U.S. government like, well, we did this. Dolphin didn't learn English and it killed itself. And I think it was about a year or two later that we started to put in rules on what scientists are allowed to do in experiments.
I don't know. Sounds like money well spent.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And at the same time, we were intentionally giving black men in Tuskegee syphilis when we already had. We know what it was. No, we gave the Tuskegee syphilis experiment was in Tuskegee, Alabama, same place where the Tuskegee Airmen are from, by the way.
I would assume so. Yeah.
A majority black town down in Alabama. Scientists went down there and told a collection of 70, I think, black dudes. No, I think it was more than that. But either way, told them, we're working on a cure for syphilis, and this is the 1930s, so syphilis is still a big thing. So we're working on a cure for syphilis. We want to give you guys the inoculation, the vaccine, the whatever, and we'll come back and check you every year or every couple of months.
See how many of you are dead from syphilis.
Yeah. And of course, they don't inject them with a cure, they inject them with syphilis.
Right.
And that experiment did not stop until the 70s. And we had already developed the cure for syphilis, like in the 50s or 60s. But we kept them on syphilis anyways.
Well, it was okay. Well, then, I mean, I would assume that there was something beyond just this angry racism, to make them do that. I mean, they obviously it was underhanded, but there had to, like, what was the actual excuse?
I think the excuse was they wanted to test the long-term effects of syphilis, but unless it's like, well, hey, we think the long-term effects of syphilis might, I don't know, give you bulletproof skin and super muscles. Does it really matter how syphilis kills you if we know we can stop it from killing you?
Yeah. Let's find out what this can do if we decided not to give somebody the cure for, which we now easily have access to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
wonder what the government's up to now.
Just less obvious, less out in the open, terrorism essentially.
Yeah.
Same shit, just more covert.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Like that. Like, the dolphin thing obviously goes beyond the pale. What amazes me is, like, the absurdities of some of these things, right?
Yeah, I mean that's pretty bonkers to I mean, what was the? I know there's a movie about it, or at least based on it, the title, whatever. But when they're thing about they wanted to make it to where like sheep could somehow be like if oh God, something having to do with goats or sheep, something about I can't remember now what it is. There was something having to do
Didn't
with
they make a?
goats.
Yeah, wasn't there like a movie, The Men Who Look at Goats, that
Yeah,
like
the men
did
who
really
stare at
poorly?
goats. Yeah, yeah, it
It
had
did really.
something to do with some kind of real life experiment.
I thought The Men Who Stare at Goats. Like I never watched the movie. I just remember when the trailer would come on TV. Wasn't the gimmick of that they thought that if they stared at the goats long enough, they develop telekinesis?
Maybe that's what it was. Yeah, quite possibly. I never saw it either.
And somehow I can just see that being accurate too.
Yeah,
And
just
then
a
whenever they couldn't lift the goat, they figured it was the goat's fault, so they probably shot it.
that sounds about right.
And also, everyone involved was high
That also sounds about right. Yeah.
on lead, which was in the pipes. I love passing through old towns with my family because my mom or my sister will point at an old house and go like, "Oh, that's so beautiful. I'd love to live there." Then they stop and go, "Wait, lead pipes."
Yeah. Yeah, lead. I know that lead toys, I think, were pretty big all the way up until I think like the 80s, maybe even
Oh
later.
no,
Yeah.
later.
Later, yeah, okay.
I had a lead Batman figure that got recalled.
Oh wow, okay, there you go.
Yeah, I had just gotten on a trip to Holiday World, and my mom abruptly takes it one day, saying like, "You gotta go," and she was like, "Why?"
Yeah. Well, it'll literally kill you, possibly.
Yeah. Oh, but it's Batman.
It's worth the risk, Mom.
I do
Batman
like
would
that.
never hurt me.
Batman will kill you.
Batman's broken his no kill rule, but only for children.
I thought you were gonna say only for you, but that's they're either outcome's pretty dark.
He decided he's gonna cut out, enough Robins have died now. He needs to cut out the middleman on this process. He's going to start killing the children himself.
Yeah, just Batman hates kids. He seems like the kind of guy who would, right? He's got no
Yeah.
time for it's rare that he even finds a woman to stop and love. He's got no time for those stupid kids.
And when he does, it turns out they're the daughter of his nemesis, and then they have a really bad performance.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, bad performance. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
For you.
Bad performance for you. You're a big guy. You.
You're making old Iden Gillen like more and more like exhausted.
Well, I'm sort of feebly trying to imitate the fact that he's sort of like I guess he's for better for all intents and purposes he's yelling because he's in the plane.
Yeah.
He's like, "You're a big guy," like that. Except he's actually yelling, not whisper yelling.
Yeah.
Perhaps he's wondering why someone would shoot a man before throwing him out of a plane. I have nothing to follow up with that. It's just a line I like saying. I don't know why.
Yeah.
One of the lines of his that I remember.
The two that always just stick in my head, both because I find both of them kind of funny and just because it's Tom Hardy Bane, is of course obviously the fire rises, but also
Oh yeah, the fire rises.
Time to go mobile.
Oh yeah. That is that the one where he's robbing the bank?
Stock market.
Yeah, the stock market. Right. Who robs a bank? Oh, in the Dark Knight, they rob a bank.
Yeah.
I'm to go mobile.
From oh shit, what's the actor that played the banker that shot one of the goons?
Oh, William Fichtner.
William
He's
Fichtner.
a badass. He's pretty cool. Yeah, he's good. I've seen him in several things. He's good. He was in Heat. He was in Contact. Good in all of them.
Yeah, I love William Fichtner. He's not in enough things.
No, he really isn't. Good character actor. Where do you know him from, Pink?
I don't even know who that is.
Yeah, I threw that at you, assuming that you wouldn't know. I mean, it's not necessarily somebody that I don't say that in a mean way. That's not necessarily a household name.
No, he isn't. But today is Torment Pink Day, so
Speaking of which, you never told me why Wild hates Christian.
Oh yeah.
The greatest of
Right,
all time.
right. Because Christian has a spot. Like, this was astounding, because for years, I've been like, okay, why do you hate Christian? Like, okay, if it's just that you're mad at his fans, like, whatever, that's just usual Wild Knight. Like, well, this guy
Right.
would have been alright if I didn't know people who liked him, but I'm sick of the people who like him not shutting up about him, so fuck him, I hope he dies.
Yeah.
But, like, that'd be one thing, but, like, really, we know G-Man's a Christian fan, but he's not super vocal about it anymore. Pink's a Christian fan, but he almost never brings it up. But, like, who is it that's making him mad? And what he just simply, the explanation that I finally got, like, a few weeks ago, a few months ago maybe, was Christian is terrible and has no ring psychology because he has that spot where he'll sit on the ropes near the corner, and when the opponent comes near, he, like, swings like a pendulum to kick them in the face.
That is very specific.
And it's just simply Christian does that one spot, and because Christian does it regularly, fuck him.
Well, yeah. I mean, that sounds like the Ted I know. You know, taking away anything, any number of things that might make the guy cool, and using the one thing against him to hate him forever.
Yeah.
Like, he's got all these 79 awesome moves, yeah, but he does that one. That irritates me, so he's terrible. Not even just that I don't like him, but he's terrible now.
Yeah.
Like again, the Skyrim argument, which I love. You know, I've talked about it multiple times, most recently about a few weeks ago. You can use you can spam the smithing skill to raise your level. Therefore, the game sucks. Well, you don't have to do that. Yeah, you do, because that's the way you grind. This game's all about grinding. No, you can choose to do all those things and look at the game that way, but you don't have to do it. Yeah, you do. All right.
I mean, in fairness to Super Mario, I can run off the first cliff I see and just die, and then respawn and do it again. So, Super Mario's a pretty fucking terrible game, really.
Yeah, I mean,
Like, I'll say, that's, okay, I will say that's infantile. That's obviously not actually Ted's argument, because Ted's argument is that the dagger crafting works. Which, well, no, it doesn't, because the auto-leveling, because the level matching. If you just
I tried to explain that to him, actually. I said
specifically, you're gonna get your ass beat by wolves.
Right, yeah, that's what I told him. I said that the game actually used to work in such a way that it was completely random. The enemies you'd fight, you'd get tough ones at any random place, and you'd get killed early, and you'd learn your lesson not to go there for a while. But no, they changed that for some reason. I like that system, to where now if you gain levels, you know, really fast or whatever, the world will level up with you, and your challenge will remain the same. You can't hurry up and beat the game by leveling up, you know, your smithing or whatever. It's going to be just as tough. And he just, like, at that point in the argument, I remember he just literally started telling me that I was wrong. He was like, you know, no, the game is all about grinding because of this. And I'm like, no, it's not. It doesn't really help you to grind. You'll just speed up the game and everything will level up with you at the same rate. But because you could, he decided that the game just, like, there was no satisfying way to play otherwise, and therefore the game sucked. Like, because they give you that ability, they obviously want you to be able to do that, and any rational fan will choose to do that because it's easy, and because of that, you know, it's a failure of the game's design. And I don't know. He'd probably phrase it differently now because it's been a decade, but at that time, yeah, he was like, I mean, he seemed like especially bothered by the game's existence because of these factors.
Yeah.
And bothered that anyone would dare to like such a game because it
By
was
the way,
so stupid.
Can
Yeah,
I
go ahead.
mention with the wolf stuff and the level matching stuff? It's one of those little things that gets me. Is it like, I played Skyrim first, right? So I'm used to like where it's like once you get to level 50, the game's just going to start spawning Daedra all over the map that you just may run into, whatever.
Yeah.
There's some
I forgot
Daedra
about
anywhere. I remember like when I first
that.
played.
Wait, no, I'm sorry. You're talking about? Are you still talking about Skyrim? Because Daedra's
Yeah.
a big thing in Oblivion. Okay, go on.
Yeah, and like, I remember when I played Morrowind, and there's a chunk of the map, like, you know, on the southern side of the volcano, that is fucked up old ruins and mysticism sites, and that's specifically where you encounter the Daedra, because, hey, there was mysticism bullshit going on here. Of course there are demons and spirits running amok. I just remember looking at that and going like, well, wait, having an actual narrative reason for the monsters to be native to this region, rather than just being anywhere because you're that high level, I guess. Like, there's so much better.
Yeah. Yeah, again, that got really bad with Oblivion. That's as we just discussed, Morrowind was basically, everything out for itself. No hand holding protection leveling up with you, which I honestly don't know why people would choose that. I get,
Like
people have
it's
tastes or whatever, but
entirely it is entirely for the most brainless people that have just picked up the game and wandered off in a random direction, and if they get killed at any point wandering off in that direction, they'll go, "This game fucking sucks," and take it back to GameStop.
it kind of seems like that's it because I mean, if it's not just dumbing the system down, I don't know what else you'd call it. I mean, it's literally, oh, not literally, of course. That uses that word is getting way too overused, but it is
That's kind
essentially.
of 2000s Valley Girl word there. Literally.
It's become so. I mean, just today I was looking at a YouTube video about something. I think it was one of the Matt McMuscles videos, and somebody said something like, "I'm literally swimming in videos." And it's like, nope, no, you're not. You
Well,
are
in
so
fairness, you
fucking not. And
can't
I
see
wish you'd read a
him.
book.
Dude,
What?
oh my goodness, there was a block of grass blocking the beehive
You found a beehive.
entryway.
You never even
So,
mentioned it.
oh, I found a beehive last
He
session
found
actually.
he found a
You
beehive in
did?
first session, dude.
It's been here
I
for
do not
quite a
remember
while,
that.
and
Okay, that explains. I was confused why last time we played, I found a beehive, and I was like, "Oh, there was a beehive," and you went, "Oh, a beehive." I was like, "Yeah, yes, correct. Pink found one last time. It's not really that exciting." I was very
I
confused.
Yeah, I did not remember. I mean, Pink just must have when we were playing before in that first session, he must have just casually mentioned it, or
No?
I just forgot. Being that I forget everything. I mean, we talk about it a lot in these sessions, so I guess maybe that one just kind of fell by the wayside. I don't know.
Yeah, sometimes Pink's bees get drowned out by. I want to get this shit on him. I'm degenerating
They're
into
not
some
even
kind
words
of,
anymore.
into some kind of ghoul.
He is. I mean, he is. It's fair.
I'll consume your flesh. It'll make me young again, and then Linda will want me back.
I do like the idea. Well, actually, before I move on, Pink, you were going to say something about your bees. I kind of interrupted you there.
so there was a grass block blocking the exit and entryway. So that's why for the longest time I had the beehive here, but I never saw any bees. Then when I punched the grass away to get some seeds, bees just shot out of the beehive. It scared the living daylights out of me because I thought I smacked their nest accidentally and they were coming for revenge.
Oh yeah. Poor bees.
Well, yeah,
Well, for you, I guess.
now they're not blocked by the grass, so they can come and go as they please.
That's good.
Yeah.
Let's see, what have I haven't been doing a whole lot of anything here. I've been I still continue to try and find fucking coal. I this whole thing started from me wanting to put enough torches around this village here, the frozen village or whatever, the tundra village, to make it to where enemies just don't constantly spawn all over it. I've made some progress, and I still do have a small smattering of torches, but I need more coal, and everywhere I've looked, I haven't found it. I don't really find hills big enough to dive into or to carve into. And whenever I do try and go into a cave or whatever, I run out of torches before I can really explore it enough to try and find more coal. So
My
it's really
house
kind
has
of
hills on all sides. You can dig into them because I'm like I don't have like I it the
well, I didn't want to mess up your, and that's kind of like your area. You've basically established your whole like land over there.
these hills and mountains are pretty fucking big, dude. I'm not sure I'd even notice.
All right, well I'll go over there then and see if I can get anything with that because I've been
My
wanting
new
coal for a
mission
while.
has been acquired. It is to completely level this hill over here. See if Alex notices.
I mean, I was talking about that dude in Africa that his wife died because they couldn't get to the hospital in time because there was a big ass mountain or hill between the village and the hospital. So that husband, that widower, or is that it? The term, right? Widower.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the widower said, "All right, fuck this mountain," and spent the rest of his life digging away at that mountain and cut a path, a divide in the mountain right between the village and the hospital, making a direct path.
Which is amazing.
But it took him decades, so.
You didn't.
Imagine how that's got to be like you get support from the neighbors to pull that off, right? That's got to be like,
You have
well, there's
support
old
from
Tom.
somebody.
Yeah, like that's got to be like, well, there's old Tom going off to continue beating the shit out of the mountain. I should leave some bread by his front door when he comes back.
That wasn't an
Notice-
interracial couple, was it?
Well, no, it was in Africa. So I've only seen pictures of the man. It could have been, but it was in Africa.
The only. Well, I only asked because we were recently talking about something that involved an interracial couple, and for some reason, when you started, I didn't think about this before, but just now when you were talking about the mountain story again, just suddenly in my head, I thought, well, I wonder if that's the movie. I wonder if that has anything to do with the movie that's got Idris Elba and Kate Winslet, because that has something to do with a mountain. And just in my mind, I thought, oh, I wonder if that's that movie. And there's no real reason to think that it is. It just my mind made that connection.
the one that movie. They're stuck in the wilderness. Yeah, and
Oh,
eventually
okay.
they get together.
Oh, don't
in
tell
the
me, don't
movie.
tell me, don't tell me. I don't want to know. Sorry. I want to see it at some point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't mean to jump all over you. I wanted to cut you off before anything got spoiled. Because yeah, I heard it wasn't good, but I like Idris Elba, so I wanted to see it.
What I'll say is I thought it was very amusing and kind of endearing that Idris Elba was very open about that it was awkward working on the set because he was working on the set in a role that is largely just him and Kate Winslet, the movie, and he's kind of like, holy shit, that's Kate Winslet from Titanic.
He was impressed that she was that it was Kate Winslet from Titanic.
Apparently.
He was like starstruck by her.
Yeah.
That's funny. Good for him.
All right.
I would say that I like her too. She's a good actress, but there's something about her that annoys me. I don't know. Like behind the scenes, she talks in a way that's really kind of grating. Like I kind of lost interest in her once I heard her talk. If that makes any sense.
Eh.
Yeah, but go ahead.
Yeah,
What were you
some
gonna say?
people like some voices get on different people's different nerves differently. I remember at one point you and I were talking about Ivory, the wrestler. I was confused because
Yeah.
she didn't bother you that much. To me, Ivory's voice is nails on a fucking chalkboard.
Yeah, I remember listening to her shoot, which, funnily enough, that would mean that you would probably absolutely despise listening to her shoot based on what you just said.
I figured that out by listening to a shoot of hers.
Oh, you did? You actually listened to the whole thing?
Yeah, I listened to.
Oh.
Forget who it wasn't. Sean Oliver. I don't know. It might have been Sean Oliver. I don't remember, but
The one I listened to was not Sean Oliver. It was like RF Video or something like that.
some like
They
that.
both suck.
They both suck.
Yeah.
Sean Oliver's great. RF Video.
No.
Well,
I don't like their.
don't put it over, Mike. He's just doing it to fuck with you.
Well, I just figured that I'd just throw it in though altogether, regardless. I figured that he was goofing, but yeah, RF Video. Just I wanted to point out that they had very. I couldn't stand the interviewer. He talked in kind of like a monotone sort of tone of voice like this. He'd be like, "What are your memories from this?" Okay. Oh yeah. All right. What do you think of this? Yeah. Well, what do you remember about this? What'd you say? It's just like a very, very bland, flat, just kind of annoying delivery. But
Yeah,
fortunately,
it really
he kept his
depends on
mouth
the
shut though.
wrestler to
And,
carry the personality.
right. Which
I don't even
that-
know what RF video is or who that is.
just another shoot. I can't remember what the RF stood for, but it was a group that would just have wrestling shoots. I don't know who the one of those shoot companies rather. I think that one of them was like accused of like being a sexual predator or something.
I'm not
Some kinda-
surprised.
Yeah. Something about I can't remember exactly what it was, and I'm not even sure if it's
Well-
true, but I remember hearing a rumor that one of those guys like like sexually assaulted a girl or something.
Well, there was old Hannibal who would
Oh, there's him.
wrestle on the side, and of course had the incident where he just carved the shit out of a referee for some fucking reason.
Yeah, he kind of went into business for himself there, and
It was
chopped up wrestling.
a bleeder. If you've never heard of a bleeder, it's when the other wrestler doesn't want to bleed. So
That sounds about right.
We
Yeah, that-
send in a bleeder. Have you never heard of it? All the wrestlers do it. And there you go. That's Hannibal, by the way.
Yeah,
If you've never
he,
heard one of his
he
shoots,
does. Yes,
he is
we're
fucking
since going
unbearable
right
to
back
listen
to.
to.
Yes, he is. Yeah. Going right back to talking about wrestlers' voices and so forth and annoying voices. Yeah, he does kind of. He talks sort of dumb, kind of. He sounds sort of like an idiot, and he kind of just says dumb things and kind of talks dumb. And yeah,
And
he's
he,
very annoying.
He a lot.
Oh, he okay, yeah.
Cover the dead air.
Oh, one of those, yeah. Who has to say a lot to cover the dead air?
Yeah, I saw a shoot that was him with New Jack, and this was after New Jack got clean, about a year before he died.
New Jack got
I don't
clean.
know what. When you were starting that sentence, I thought you were going to say this was after New Jack died, and I would have been very perplexed. Like,
This is what
hang
he just
on
did
now.
after he
Bro,
died.
he went out there to some graveyard with a shovel. He dug up New Jack's casket, and he's just putting a mic to a dead body and pretending that New Jack's dead body is talking back. So, and the mass transit incident, what did you think of that? And I don't know what's funnier. The idea that either he puts the mic to New Jack's corpse, and New Jack's corpse is just, of course, dead silent for like a minute straight, and he doesn't acknowledge it. Or would it be funnier for him to lazily edit in clips of New Jack talking from other shoots?
Oh, I thought you were gonna say lazily edit in, clips of New Jack as him acting as New Jack, like him doing a New Jack voice, which I'm not even gonna try to imitate another guy imitating New Jack. That's too deep for me.
So, I said, fuck that, mass transit, guy. I had to shoot on him, with the blade,
You
fuck
can't
that,
do it though because
white boy.
Hannibal is too slow and New Jack is too like
Yeah.
he's too fast and gibbery. So you can't it's a contradiction of terms to try and do one or the other.
It's a difference between one of the worst speakers I've ever heard and a guy who was a shit wrestler and a shit human being but was able to get by on promo.
Fast talker, yeah. Yeah, talking about the Kate Winslet thing that got me to even mention this, I was listening to her commentary on Titanic. Titanic's got a really good one that's got like 3 or 4 different commentary tracks on it. And Kate Winslet, when she's not doing an accent, which she's really good at, like you watch Titanic, you think that she's got an American accent. No, she put that on. She was really good. But in Titanic, I don't know if it was just like this is how she always sounds, or if it was just like that particular day, or maybe she was hopped up on coffee or what. But she was like, she had the English accent, kind of talking about like this, right? And but she was just sounding so natural. She was talking like this. Everything she was saying was just so fast, and everything she was saying was super annoying. And she talked for like an hour and a half. You just got sick of listening to it. Oh, it went on and on. And
Yeah.
it grated on your ears so bad. The speed and the particular pitch was just like too much.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean I like her as an actress, and she was really hot at one time, and she's probably still at least a good actress. But yeah, can't listen to her voice.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, Ivory. I don't remember what Ivory shoot it was. I can recall her making the same comment about Jacqueline that everyone does. Well, when I wrestled her the first time, she was beating the shit out of me. So I was like, well, Jesus, I must have done something to offend this woman. I found out afterwards, no, that's just Jacqueline. Yeah,
I believe I've heard that, either from that same shoot or from you mentioning it. What I remember from the shoot, 2 things she said. I always love the fact that she said that she was considered, a diva, whatever. They were like, oh, what do you think about that whole divas thing? She's like, well, I don't really consider myself a bikini diva. And I just like that term. I thought that was a cute term, a bikini diva.
Yeah.
She's like, well, no, I'm kind of like, hey, you can call me a diva, or whatever. Then I'm, kind of, I like to prettify myself up or whatever. But she's like, man, I never really wanted to be a bikini diva. And also she described Lita's wrestling style as, quote, Gumby-ish.
Yeah.
Ah, that's accurate. Oh man, I never thought about that. But yeah, Lita does move like Gumby. Oh Jesus.
I'll never forget that comment. She was like, yeah, she's kind of like limber and kind of sort of like floppy, kind of like she knew what she was doing, but she was really kind of floppy, kind of Gumby-ish. Yeah, very amused at that. She had personality. I liked her.
Like that's
Yeah,
even the
her
way Lita does her
student.
moonsault.
I haven't even seen Lita since that shoot, so I've never been able to go back and verify. Did she do a very floppy moonsault? Was she very like how did
She doesn't get height. She does a backflip off the
No,
top
yeah.
rope, but she does.
She practically
So she kinda just, like, flops.
top turnbuckle. A lot of guys like Kurt Angle jumps straight in the air and does does the rotation. That's his moonsault. Lita rockets herself off the turnbuckle.
Lita does the
And-
moonsault that would actually hurt to take.
Right.
Yeah.
Of just full force impact into the stomach. Fucking, oh! Like, I imagine there was a couple nights where Trish or Victoria or whoever she was wrestling afterwards went, you fucking bitch.
Yeah, quite possibly from the sounds of it. I don't recall, did Lita ever injure anybody that we know of? She did, didn't
No.
she? No?
I don't believe she ever did, remarkably.
Maybe I'm thinking of China. Did China ever famously injure anybody?
Probably.
China was never a well put together wrestler.
No, I don't remember. I don't think I. That's around the time that I quit watching again. I had big breaks in the mid '90s and then again at the late '90s, so I didn't get to see much of China.
Yeah, that would have been China's big peaks there.
I guess it would have been, yeah, around '99 to 2001 thereabouts.
I'm not even sure if she was in the company in 2001. Was it 2000? I think 2000 or 2001 would have been her last year.
It might have been 2001 then, because I know she was at WrestleMania 17, which was 2001. In fact,
Yeah.
she went over Ivory,
Yes, she did.
the squash. In fact, now that I think about it, I think Ivory did hurt her. I'm sorry, rather, I think Ivory said that China did hurt her in that match. She basically just lifted her up and let her just flop over as part of like a power move, and I think Ivory said that it hurt.
Yeah, that makes sense. That reminds me of the, I was just the other day watching the highlights of Bianca Belair versus Io Shirai last year in Puerto Rico. And, like, it doesn't strike me as a botch, but nonetheless, the spot where Bianca selling the arm mid-military press winds up dropping Io straight on her fucking face.
Yeah.
That's what China did to Ivory. She basically did the Warrior Gorilla Press and then let her flop behind her. Lifted her up.
Yeah, that's how Warrior did
and then
it.
just let her fall flat. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it doesn't sound like that'd be fun. I mean, it seems like that would hurt.
Depends on your kind of person. I want to say that Ivory at some point did say in another shoot that she came to like working with Jacqueline because Jacqueline was so fucking stiff.
Really?
I could be wrong, though. It's difficult to say
You
because
might have.
there's a time period where her and Jacqueline were like the only women wrestlers they really had.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, actually. It was
The era where
Jacqueline, Jazz, Ivory, Trish, and Lita. I think that was like literally it for a while.
Trish and Lita came in late in the Attitude Era, and when Trish came in the Attitude Era, she was like just a lingerie model. Like,
Yep.
You remember they never wrestle in pink lingerie?
I don't remember that, but I'll have to go back and look for research purposes.
Around the same time that her whole gimmick was that she was Vince's mistress, which, Jesus, that was wishful thinking on his part.
Yeah, it also, I mean, God, like, is any of this surprising to anybody looking back? Like
Oh,
really,
it all makes a lot more
tells its
sense.
own- Yeah, it does.
This would have also been around the same time, though, where the Vinces, plural, had really had eyes for Sable and the white cotton panties.
Yeah, the white cotton panties. It's famous.
Well, I think it's partly just famous, like, even if you don't like Cornette, which, understandably so, because, like, as Cornette himself puts it, like, what, do you have a fetish for your grandma?
Yeah, he did say that. That's right.
Which,
yeah,
in Vince's case, like, all things being honest and on the level here, like, look, there could be a lot of damage that comes from being sexually assaulted in your youth. Vince never explicitly said, but at a good couple points, and he could have lied about this. I don't know why he would lie about this, but at a couple points, he pretty heavily implied that his mom, molested
That his mom molested him? Really?
Yeah.
That's very unusual for the female to do it.
Yeah, Vince. I don't know. Vince. All the stories about Vince's childhood paint a very screwed up childhood, even from people other than Vince. Like when people have gone back and asked people he grew up around. And Vince is also a very screwed up person, so I guess that lines up.
Yeah, I guess it really does. Really quick, this is off topic, but more on the game anyway.
Yeah.
Does anyone?
So actually, this is on topic.
Yeah, it's off topic in a sense that's actually going back to being on topic. What is this does anyone know what cobbled deep slate is? Because I have a bunch of it. I guess I got it from
It
probably
is-
the giant caverns. Yeah, go ahead.
It is the stone that replaces regular stone when you get to the deepest layer of the world.
Do you know anything that can be done with it?
Hell no.
All right, because I have a bunch of it. And I've just been trying to figure that out. But oh well, the mystery shall remain for now. And the mystery remains.
Yeah. Yeah, there's
It's the
something
memory
to me,
remains, but regardless, yeah, go ahead.
to me there's something perfect about WrestleMania 28, washed up Undertaker, washed up Triple H, with a theme song by washed up Metallica.
Oh, they did the memory remains for that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's one of my favorite Metallica songs. Well,
I think
I
out of-
can't even say that. It's actually I love the chorus. I love the Marianne Faithfull chorus.
Yeah. I think like out of like the post Saint Anger Metallica, it's one of their best, yeah.
I think that's I'm not super familiar, but my understanding is that that's the sentiment. Yeah, a lot of people kind of felt like Metallica fell apart after that.
Yeah.
Like Load, Reload, those are like, what the hell? They cut their hair. They're sellouts because they cut their hair, and then obviously
the
also
funny
their
thing
music
is,
changed a bit as well.
When you find out
Go
about
ahead.
the time period, James Hetfield said it several times. He was getting taken around by TSA because they would say that he had a Taliban beard.
I hadn't heard that before. That's funny.
Like at that time, I don't think people were even really aware there were Middle Easterners that pale.
I hadn't even thought of it that way. That's a pretty pale Taliban officer. Well, we have a lot of, maybe they thought it was one of the domestic branches. That kind of thing.
Maybe. Like,
Yeah,
of
I
course,
don't
now
know.
I can say as a wrestling fan nowadays, like Sammy's of Middle Eastern heritage, and my God, he's paler than snow.
Sami Zayn?
Yeah, Sammy's Syrian. Well, excuse me, he's of Syrian heritage. Excuse me.
Really?
Nationally, he's Canadian, but ethnically, he's Syrian.
Oh, I would not have guessed that. Probably because of his skin color, as you said.
And red hair.
Oh, I hadn't even thought about the hair. Yeah, that does make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that would be Yeah, go ahead.
When they went to Saudi Arabia most recently, he got to make the Hajj. It was pretty cool.
Oh, that reminds me that I guess I either misheard or conflated or what, but the other night actually I did look up the thing about Ashley Mazzaro, and you were right. It was
Kuwait.
yeah, it was Kuwait. Yeah, it was someone claiming to be a doctor, and I didn't read the rest of it, but I'm assuming the follow up matches what you said, which is the whole thing about we don't want to. I knew it was along the lines of we don't want to ruin our relationship with insert whatever country, ethnicity, whatever here. Somewhere I'm sure that somewhere I heard that it was the Saudi thing, but no, you're right. It was I guess it was probably the Kuwait thing, the tribute to the troops thing.
The only Saudi controversy they've had, other than Punk, of course, saying Miz can go back to sucking on a Saudi blood-covered dick, was good old Punk, brother. And supposedly him and Miz are cool now. Supposedly that was like while Punk was with AEW, he went to a WWE show to meet up with both Miz and Hunter to mend bridges with both of them, which I found comical, but nonetheless.
I heard that. That's right.
Which, like, Miz, I forgot that him and Miz didn't get along at all. Hunter, I mean, I guess that makes sense. There's really only one guy that Hunter's permanently on bad terms with, and that's Goldberg.
Is that true, really?
Hunter hates Goldberg. I don't think they actually have personally ever gotten to a disagreement, but I know that, like, when they did the first season of Tough Enough, Hunter cuts an entire thing to the Tough Enough trainees of, you need to be here working every day, you need to be a quality wrestler, you need to be able to cut it in the ring, you need to be coming here when you are sick, when you are tired. Like, this is not the sort of business where if you want to have a day off, you get a day off. You should not be relying on your on having some football cred or being big and muscular or the booker liking you. You shouldn't be fucking over the guys down the card on that. And, like, he went, like, cut this. I don't think he ever named Goldberg by name, but he described Goldberg as the perfect example of don't be this.
To a T.
Okay. What, Pink?
I said to a T. His description of all the things he's telling the recruits.
He got really specifically into, like, don't think that just don't get some big contract and then just not show up to work. Like, don't just have match after match where you win and win and win and win and win and win. And like,
don't be me in 2003, but
Yeah,
don't
don't-
applied.
I think this was this during or after the Reign of Terror, Pink? When was the
This
first
would have been
Tough Enough?
before. This would have
Tough
been
Enough, I
just
think,
a
was like
couple years before.
2002 or somewhere
Right,
around there.
was Maven in the proximity of Tough Enough? I can't remember.
He was the winner of
Yes.
one of them. He and
He won the inaugural
Nadia.
Tough Enough.
Yeah, huh?
Yep.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
he won the male, and then I think her name was Nadia, wasn't it? Nadia won the female version.
Right, and the
Nydia?
gimmick
Nydia,
they gave her
wait.
was just a sticker to Jamie Noble's waist.
Yeah, I honestly don't remember what they did with her. She was like there for a little bit, and then they kind of just like,
I mean, they signed her.
whatever.
They paid her, maybe, allegedly.
Yeah, maybe.
I forget. Did she marry Charlie Haas?
No.
Who did she marry? She married somebody, and it wasn't Jamie Noble. I don't think.
Yeah, I think that was kayfabe.
Because like, well, did Vince stick Nadia with Jamie Noble just because like, oh well, pal, they both have country accents. They're both trailer trash. Stick them together. Have I mentioned I hate Southerners because I had an abusive upbringing in South Carolina?
Yeah, it seems like his MO. Seems like something he would have done. I sadly, for her sake, I after she showed up, it was like I don't know. I don't know how long she was around. I don't know if she was even a good wrestler. Presumably, if she won that
Who knows if
contest,
she had a
must have
match?
been. But yeah, I honestly don't know.
That was the same time period
I
where
at least
Tori
saw
was
Maven.
like, yeah, I've seen some bits and pieces of Maven, but like, that was around the same time period. She would have been put on SmackDown, I think, right? And that was the same time period where Tori was on SmackDown, like begging, like, please let me have a match that isn't a bra and panties match.
Oh, Tori was saying that. Oh, good for her then. Because she was in Playboy, so I figured she was another one who was just happy to, whatever, get paid to take her clothes off.
Oh, I don't know how the Playboy deal worked out.
All I know is that
imagine
every
you
woman
could
who was employed by the WWE at that time was in Playboy, other than Trish and Lita, unfortunately.
Well, Trish and Lita and not Molly. What was it? I forget if I thought I heard Molly was offered but said no.
Quite possibly.
Which would
I
make
know
sense because
Tori
my understanding
was-
is Molly's supposed to be a really quiet, down-to-earth sort of person, so...
She seems like she would be. I don't know. Something about her looks that way. Seems
Yeah.
that way.
And that's, I imagine, why Vince gave her a variety of stupid comedy gimmicks. God
Of
damn it.
course.
Get sexy, Barbie!
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that being a thing. Yeah, I know.
And
Sable
Kevin
was
Dunn
nude.
drooling
Tori was
off to the
nude.
side.
Wait,
Yeah.
was it Molly who was in Right to Censor, or was that Ivory?
Ivory.
Ivory, okay.
Ivory, Stevie Richards, Val Venus, and...
Good father.
Godfather, right? Good Father. Man, apparently
What?
it's not easy to make a school marm Ivory costume. I was just downloading Ivory CAW the other day, and the only one that had the right to censor Ivory, it just didn't look great.
I believe
Sorry,
it.
I'm splashing around in water. It was kind of loud. Ivory was what? She was what? Her CAW was what?
I was saying apparently it's kind of hard or difficult to make within the systems of the WWE games. It's kind of difficult to make right to censor Ivory, and that makes me sad, because that's the version of Ivory I want.
It's just a white button-up shirt and black pants. And her hair back in a ponytail, very tight braid.
Yeah, maybe I should just take a shot at making it myself.
Yeah, you probably could. I would think the tools would be there.
Yeah.
I think perhaps maybe just people didn't try, probably because, most of the CAW people are like, oh, I want to see her in bikini. I want to see her half nude. That's how I want my female wrestlers to look.
There we go. And you see the top
'Cause
voted...
they're all Southern.
Right after I was insulting Vince for sticking Nadia and Jamie Noble together because they had accents.
It's just the default.
Tell me, where
stupid
do you
accent.
think we
I
should
can't-
use Nadia, Mike?
I can't think of a default dumb accent that's not Southern. I can't.
Well, we could go
it
for
just
old
comes
Hannibal.
naturally. Yeah, it takes too long.
Stick him in the
No,
bikini
no,
'cause, she's hot.
It does sound a lot like him. What were you saying about the CAW though? I'm curious because I just on the pirated copy of 2K24, it turns out that even easier than last year. You just enter a simple little line of dialogue and a simple little piece of text that's in the game, and boom, free CAW cross platform.
There's some good.
Nice.
There's
Yeah,
some good fucking CAWs this year, brother.
I don't know if it's the
I
shade
haven't
or
even
what.
fully checked out everything they got on the community creations because I had, I got it on early release day, so I was like, oh, no, nobody's gonna have anything coming out the first couple of weeks. And then
Oh
you go
God.
on Twitter and see all the community creators there, and they're like, yeah, we got all these CAWs coming out right now. In fact, they were out yesterday. And they all look phenomenal. They all
Yeah.
have good movesets. They've all got their renders. I'm like, oh my
Okay,
god, they
wait.
were on
Hang
their
on.
A game.
I gotta mention
Okay,
something.
moveset part, yeah, for you, no, not good, but yeah.
I do have to mention
for the most
something.
part. Yeah.
I have been dissing on CAW makers unnecessarily. So I've been saying like, oh goddamn, they don't pay attention to the combo system. They don't put in the right combo enders. I have only just found out that apparently there is a bug where if you upload a CAW, it does not include their combo enders. It resets them to default, which is why everybody gets that fucking default CM Punk combo where they throw the back fist.
Oh.
If you want the proper combo enders, you have to download the separate creative moveset. And thankfully, a lot of the CAW makers have either upload the movesets themselves separately or have a moveset guy that uploads them separately.
Yeah, and like everybody in the CAW community is like partnered up with somebody else. Like one guy will make the actual CAW, another guy is in charge of making the moveset.
There's probably a face texture guy.
Renders. Yep.
I don't know
got
how
texture
they do,
guys.
I don't know how they do face textures. That is fucking wizardry. Every time I see those textures, and it's like the fucking it looks like a person's head's been skinned and splayed across the wall. I don't get it.
I know exactly what you mean. I also don't understand how that works. You see, it's not even just that game. It's other games. I've seen the same procedure. You look at the asset or the file, whatever it is, and as you say, yeah, it's like a person's face, usually without the eyeballs for some reason, and then it's
Because
just
the
like
eyeballs
stretched
need to
out
be able
like
to move around.
Oh, that would make sense. That actually makes perfect sense. Yeah, yeah, and the face is like a piece of like leather skin that's
Yeah.
been splayed out. Yeah,
It
and then
looks
there's
like Leatherface got him.
it really does. It actually really does. Yeah, it's very odd how that works. I don't know how somebody can make that, knowing how it's going to sculpt properly around a three-dimensional model.
Yeah,
I absolutely do not get it.
it's got to be like it must be something that takes a lot of practice.
Yeah, I would also
lot
think
of
there must be
trial
some
and
kind of
error.
template or something. Yeah, I would think the first time, yeah, but then I can only I would for their sake hope that there's a template they can use in the future.
I've only just in the last week found out that there's a good template for making the renders for like the character selection
Really?
and such. Yeah, and I've been using that to put in renders for a lot of the wrestlers that don't have renders on the community creations. Let me tell you,
Or who have
it's
really bad ones.
yeah. There's a Haku I'm gonna have to get around to dealing with because the Haku CAW is excellent, but the Haku render itself is just a little bit too large.
Oh yeah, I've seen those.
Then there's some
Yeah,
wrestlers in
they're
Japan and Mexico that never got renders properly, and I have to try and figure out what in-ring shots to crop them out of.
Yeah, that would have to be really tough. I know that in 2K, well, actually, I think all of the previous modern wrestling games, there was a like a hackable. There was like a tool that you could use to. I guess the terminology was you can inject a render into the render slot. Like the tool would identify the particular file of the game, and you would have to supply the image. But then, like after you run it through a program to make the background transparent, usually something like GIMP, and then you resize it to the exact right size, the program would tell you, okay, the render has to be exactly the size or whatever. When you run it, you can then
1024
tell
by
it which.
1024 pixels.
That sounds about right. That's for the big one. There used to be multiple different render sizes. There'd be one for the main menu, then there'd be one for when the matchup screen, and then I think there would be a smaller one for like I don't know, maybe like something having to do with the storyline or something like that. I don't know. There were 3 sizes in the older ones. Now there's only 2. So I'm
Yeah.
guessing it must be like the main menu screen and the matchup screen and the roster select. Excuse me.
And you only have to do that for when you're replacing the on-disc wrestlers, though, because they now give you the official tools for CAWs to make renders for them. You don't have to make injectors or anything like that.
Okay, yeah. That's very cool. I'm glad they do that now. I'll have to look into that.
Yeah, for me, it's just as simple as get the shit, put it into a 1024. If it's already got a transparent background, which thankfully there are a lot of good render makers nowadays who come with transparent backgrounds, plug it into 1024 by 1024 picture transparent on GIMP. Then just simply go to WWE 2K Image Uploader, and they'll ask, are you on Steam? Are you on PlayStation? Where are we uploading this to? And I tell them, I'm Steam, I'm Braun534, and I throw it up there, and they're like, okay, well, when you start the game next, just go and pick it up, and I'll start up the game, and there's an image uploader section in Community Creations that is my own stuff that I've uploaded, and it's like, hey, you've dropped this stuff off, come here, pick it up, and we'll put it in the game. And
cool.
Plug that right in and make any of the CAWs have renders.
Very nice.
And you can even download other people's renders off Community Creations while Pink gets killed by zombies over and over again.
Pink, what's going on over there? What are you doing?
Stupid little ass zombie.
Oh,
he hopped the fence into my enclosure, and he's wielding a sword, and it hurts a lot.
Oh,
yeah, you've got to be careful.
There must be some way. There has to be some way to disable them being able to pick up weapons. That never used to be a thing. They could pick them up, but they couldn't use them. Like now, they're stealing our armor and our weapons and shit. It's frustrating.
That you got to be careful when you're building a fence to make sure there's no spot where they can hop up the side of the fence.
There is no spot where he can hop up. He's magical.
Are you sure you didn't spawn in there somehow?
I'm positive.
You spawn on top of the massive nerd pole connected to your house?
No.
He would have died on the way down.
He probably would have, yeah.
I don't know why I'm yawning.
I saw him walk up toward the fence, and I was like, oh, I'm glad I set this fence up. And then I was tending to my chickens and whatnot, and then all of a sudden he was inside.
Oh, no, again.
Good lord. I'm down in the tunnels. If I get up in time, I'll try and help you with this.
Don't bother. I'm just going to wait till morning. He'll burn.
Yeah.
I'm just making sure my stuff doesn't despawn by constantly picking it up and whatnot.
It takes a good 10 minutes.
You know, talking about... yeah. Talking as we... Oh, jeez. Talking as we were about the... I was going to say... the CAWs, the wrestlers...
I may not rest now. There are monsters nearby. Yes, they're in my backyard.
They're right outside your door. Before I applied the fix, and again, it literally is. When you get a game through Steam or when you get a pirated copy that's meant to replicate Steam, it will always come with a text file somewhere in your files that lists the name of your Steam profile. Or not the name rather, but the number of it, the digital number. Alex, you'll remember that last year when you lent me yours, and I did a boo boo by not thinking first to ask you if I could share it with the others. I didn't share your name, but I shared the number, and thankfully that didn't affect anything. But
I wasn't really bothered by that. I was worried that you didn't ask me permission because I was like, oh, please, if you're going to do something like that, ask me permission in the future just in case. This one is fine, but in the future, in case it's something bad, right?
Right. Yeah. Like my thinking at that time was like, I know that this is all safe. I know I've been around the block with this stuff, but you don't. And again, just in case, you never know something. Who knows? This would be the one time that it winds up getting fucked up. So it's I was wrong there. I definitely.
Brian Williams is going to come to my house and pile drive me.
That that could be kind of cool. I mean, once you get out of the hospital, it'd be a memory. You tell your friends about that one. But yeah, anyway, in this case, I don't know if just a guy supplied his or what, but like somebody on like whatever, like the second week of the game's release or whatever, when I went to go pirate it, they were like, yeah, here, and also by the way, just go to the text file and just replace the numbers there with these numbers, and boom, that's all it took. Just put the numbers in there, and boom, instant. You what, Pink, or you what? You were Pink.
Oh.
What were you saying? Oh shit, too. Oh. Okay. No, I'm the safe one.
Not only did I fail to help Pink by killing the baby zombie, not only did I do that, I also managed to accidentally pick up some of Pink's stuff after he died, and then got killed by the baby zombies, and our shit is all mixed up.
That's what I was
Oh.
hoping would not happen earlier with me. That sucks. Well, while you guys sort that out, I'll finish what I was saying, which is simply that yeah, I'm yawning again. Sorry.
You are.
Third, I need to get up and move a bit. Yeah. Yeah, I was just gonna say that before I applied that fix or tweak, whatever you want to call it, I was looking at the CAW, the CC, the character creation altogether, custom creations, whatever it's called, and it had something like 700 pages of wrestlers and about 2,000 pages of other stuff, whatever, for a combined total of like 3,500, something like that. And again, the game was only like a week or two old, and so I thought, well, I wonder if I already have access to CC. I wonder if maybe I don't even need to apply this code. I mean, it seems like a pretty good, good number for the game being this new. Let me apply the code anyway and see what happens. And it's like, oh well, yeah, the number is different, so let me add these new numbers and see what happens. And I turned on the game, and it went from 700 pages of wrestlers to something like I don't know, like 3,500.
Yes.
For a
because
total of
you-
like something like 35,000 created things altogether. It's like, oh, okay then.
Yeah,
I
because if
guess people were active right off the bat.
yeah, when you start the game from the jump, it is using your Steam account or your Xbox account or whatever to check all the uploads on that platform, right?
Yeah,
if you-
yeah, it was platform specific. Yeah, that was just for the PC.
If you make a 2K account, then it is checking every platform because it now has actually a name to check for multiple platforms.
That would make sense. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that does seem to follow.
It's like how Dead by Daylight doesn't use your Steam name. It asks you to make a separate Dead by Daylight account because it's not just Steam, it's also communicating with people on PlayStation and Xbox.
Well, that would also make sense. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, because when I looked at it again, I mean, the game was relatively new, and I thought, well, I mean, it's that's a pretty good number. I mean, I was a little bit dissatisfied with some of the choices, but it was like, well, I mean, it'll grow in the next week or two. But yeah, no, I got literally 10 times the amount by seeing the allowing my game to accept the cross-platform stuff. It's pretty good. I saw, for example, the CM Punk you were talking about. That's right there on the front page. I think the number one character is a female. I can't remember who.
It might be Jade Cargill.
I think I would have remembered that. I don't know. Because I never even thought to look for her. I'll have to. Is there a good one of her out there already?
Yeah, but she's gonna be DLC eventually, so I don't go.
Oh, true.
I don't get CAWs of people who are gonna be DLC.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll do it if I'm impatient. Like I saw a really good Mr. Perfect, so I grabbed that. It's like, well, I mean, I might still wind up getting the one with the ponytail and the NWO outfit. So I'll be really angry. I want to break my non-existent copy of the game in half. So to avoid that, I'll just download this Mr. Perfect. It looks really good.
I'm keeping your 44 blocks of dirt.
Okay,
I need it more than you do.
that's
Probably
actually
true. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen his house. He doesn't need anything anymore. He sure doesn't need any more chickens.
But I'll have more.
What will you do with them all?
Get more eggs.
Eat them like you're doing in real life there? Get more eggs to make more chickens. For what? Making more.
There's a game I don't play so much anymore, but called Factorio.
I've heard that.
You're kind of an astronaut
Looks,
engineer.
I have your shield. I thought it was a door.
Stranded on a foreign planet that is completely isolated. There's no one there, and you can build a variety of drills and compactors and servo arms and manufacturers and engineering tools and all this, that, and another to make
So it's
incredibly
basically
advanced.
like engineering sim, essentially.
Yes, and it is notorious for being the game where it doesn't take very much time at all before you've lost track of what the fuck the machine you have built even does. And also the tendency to just keep continually expanding it, leading to the phrase, the factory must expand to meet the needs of the expanding factory.
Ah, okay. Yeah, you've got that going on in duck form. Or
Yeah.
chicken form, I should say, yeah.
Pink's infecting you with calling the chickens ducks.
They have well, I was gonna say bills, but no, chickens don't have bills. They have beaks. Huh. Well, they all have feathers. So as far as I'm concerned, they're all the same damn thing. They all taste good.
These chickens look like they have beaks.
They do. Or what, you mean bills? Now I'm confused.
I mean, yeah, bills.
Yeah.
Pardon me.
They definitely do. I'm looking at one right now, actually.
Oh, what the
Yeah,
heck
I
is
haven't.
this?
What, Pink?
I just picked up a gold helmet with Aqua Affinity 1.
Aqua Affinity 1? Is that what you said?
Wasn't
Yeah.
mine.
Where in the world did it come from?
Probably one of those. The skeletons seem to walk around a lot with gold shit.
Yeah, that's the upside to them being able to carry stuff, is that they sometimes just give you shit for some reason.
Yeah, sometimes. I don't think I've gotten anything good from any of them yet. You got lucky. Didn't you get like a... You got something like chainmail armor, right?
Yeah,
He's-
bro,
he's-
but yeah. Oh, shit.
I'm sure he was just awarded
What?
more food.
Yeah, what a terrible human being. Just getting served food from out of the blue. Where's
Constantly.
my food?
I want some food. I could go get some, but I want his.
Yeah.
Well, maybe. He's often
I
eaten
shouldn't
a lot of
have
his-
to get my own food. I should be getting his food.
So what are you up to since he's busy right now and you never get to talk? You're so quiet.
Currently, I'm diving into this big ass river over here, trying to see what the Aqua Affinity does, and it does nothing as far as I'm currently aware.
Yeah, I don't understand what the affinity part of it means. That almost makes it sound like like I mean, I don't know. Affinity means, a like of something, so I don't understand how gold armor has an affinity for anything.
Especially water.
Yeah, that's very, very strange. I'm in the middle of torching up this village, something I've been trying to do for a couple sessions now. Make it to where I can actually go here without thousands of monsters spawning and killing me.
Okay, guys. This is gonna be the ultimate in making you mad.
Yeah, alright. Let us have it.
It's Olive Garden.
Yeah, that kind of makes me angry.
Olive Garden?
So you probably got some spaghetti, some breadsticks.
I have breadsticks, fettuccine alfredo, and some steamed broccoli.
I'll
Okay,
share
well,
with you.
fortunately,
I don't
see,
mind.
I want the breadsticks, but I'm glad that the rest of it I can pass.
Fettuccine alfredo is basically just a cheesy pasta.
Yeah, I'd have to try it again because the last fettuccine alfredo I tried, it definitely didn't taste like cheese. It tasted like,
Oh,
I don't know, like mushroom or something.
thank you, thank you.
And they gave him more food. Person who's giving him food, give us some. Give him too much food.
They say they want you to give them food.
I don't know who the hell they are. They sound like weirdos.
My headphones on.
We are, but
my
we still
headpho-
want food.
My headphones are sound noise canceling, so I don't know if she shouted anything back.
Probably something like, screw them, they sound like weirdos.
Yeah. I was The guys jokingly said they want next time get them food too. She would if she could.
Really? Oh,
Nice.
she's cool. Yeah.
Huh.
How old is she? You said she's around like, not my age, but what? No.
Older.
How older than? Yeah, because I was gonna say that's. But I remember though that you said that like every time I mentioned something that they would also possibly like, you're like, oh yeah, they know that, they grew up with it, or they're really familiar with it, whatever. And so I've been trying to figure how old they could possibly be, because you're not super young, but they sound like they're of my same generation. Maybe on the earlier end of my generation, I guess.
Well, yeah, I think both my parents are.
She just sounded like she had a very young voice. Thought that might have been your sister actually, until you whatever said that she would whatever. I obviously put together that it wasn't your sister. I don't know if it's your sister who normally brings you food. I would assume probably not, but she sounded young.
My dad's the one with the deep voice, which I guess is where both me and my sister would have inherited it from.
Oh, your sister's got a deep voice. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think I've heard her on the recording yet, nor your dad.
No, if you heard her, she'd probably be saying something like along the lines of, "Oh, he's playing with those fascists again."
Wait, what? What makes us fascists? I forget.
I can guarantee you, she would not have had any part of that conversation we were having off recording.
Oh,
I'm researching how to harvest honey without upsetting the bees, and everyone's saying put a campfire down below the hive.
smoke out the
What?
hive? That's
Yeah,
mean.
smoke out the hive, which is not something unusual for beekeeping and whatnot. But here's the issue: I can't put a campfire below the bees because the beehive is on the ground.
Well,
That's really weird.
hang on, I'll skip over there and help while I'm eating broccoli. This ain't bad broccoli.
As far
not-
as broccoli goes,
It's not flavored up, but they've thrown a little bit on, a little bit of seasoning.
what kind of seasoning does one put on broccoli?
Well, tradition is cheese.
Butter and salt and
Yeah.
cheese.
Butter and
Cheese-
salt and cheese. That sounds like a good topping for anything.
Cheese specifically goes well with broccoli, not just flavor-wise, but nutritionally. There's some really healthy chemical in cheese that our stomach has a hard time breaking down. Or excuse me, there's some
Oh, I've heard that.
chemical-
Yeah.
There's some chemical in broccoli that our stomach ordinarily has a hard time breaking down, but when you mix it with cheese, we have an easier time with it, and we get more nutritional value from it. So broccoli is actually
Okay.
healthier with cheese than without, I believe.
Odd.
Yeah. Chemistry. I didn't
Yeah.
pay attention in that class.
You paid attention to
I
all
passed
the...
it.
Oh, I
I
passed
don't-
it.
I couldn't tell you about anything that happened in it, but I passed
Right.
I passed all kinds of classes I didn't pay attention to.
it.
School, our education system, it's so not a waste of time and money.
All right, Pink. Hang on, I got this, brother.
Yeah.
Behold. So, you remember how this game has a title called Minecraft? I have done the first half of the title. I have dug out the dirt surrounding the beehive. You can now place a campfire. This wizardry I know is above your level, but you'll get there one day.
Now hold up. I
You
don't know
didn't
if I
tell 'em
trust this.
You didn't tell them that assistance came with a chewing out. You don't have to be a dick. Jeez, man. Now, Pink, I'll help you as long as you're not stupid enough to forget everything I say to you.
He'll get me back next time I mention in passing that I like Sting or somebody. Or I like
I might have to go 2 blocks lower because I don't want to set the thing on fire accidentally. Oh,
Is that hard? You
would
laugh
not
at
be
the
good.
idea of setting it on fire?
Yeah. The idea of just an idiot beekeeper like, oh, it's on fire, the bees are on fire.
I'm sure it's happened to somebody. That's sad, because now's it's time for our daily message that bees are cool.
And their
Indeed.
population is declining.
I was just gonna say that, yeah, they're literally starting to decline to other types of critters, and they're a massive agricultural benefit. We need to keep them and do what we can to sustain them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Morgan Freeman has largely focused more on beekeeping than acting for several years, hasn't he?
Yeah, you told me that. I thought that was very cool. I would not have expected him. I mean, any random celebrity really, but him in particular. He just seems so. He's obviously an intelligent and gentleman, but it seems like he would be more of like a, I don't know, like a he'd be advocating for like books or libraries or the arts, right? Like bees. It just seems so random.
He seems like a guy who just like doesn't really fit other people's archetypes and stereotypes, right? He seems because he also runs a jazz club in like somewhere in Tennessee or something.
No, that I would picture though. That he super seems like a jazz type of guy to me.
Uh-huh.
Now, if you said that he was into heavy metal, that would be a surprise.
Not to
No,
me.
that was Christopher Lee. Christopher
Right,
Lee
I was thinking that.
Yeah, he was the big metal fan.
Yeah, I remember him saying he did some music for a metal band that seemed really cheesy, so I felt kind of bad for him. They might be great, I don't know, but the video they had was kind of corny.
Yeah.
But in promoting the video, he said something like, "Well, I never knew I was metal until now." That's a metal thing of him to say.
Yeah.
How metal can you get than Christopher Lee being into metal?
Like, Christopher Lee is one of the most metal people ever. Like, not even just like, he's iconically fucking Dracula, but
Right.
I mean, in World War II, after the war, he was a Nazi hunter, and the shit he
Yeah.
did for the British government is still classified.
I wonder if it. I surely there's got to be a date on that. I wonder if at some point we'll know what he did.
We know that he knows what it sounds like for a man to be stabbed to death.
Yeah, we've got that lore. It's a pretty
Yeah.
good story.
That there's man, one of these days I need to just sit down and watch the whole behind the scenes for Lord of the Rings, because every bit I see of it is a banger.
They're really, really good. Very exhaustive documentaries that cover like every possible element of production of all three movies. I mean, we're
Oh.
talking like 9 hours worth of per movie of production shit.
Yeah, I always love the
It's exhaustive.
I forget. It's either Billy Boyd or is it Dominic Monaghan is his name?
Dominic Monaghan, I think.
Yeah, one of the two. I always get Merry and Pippin mixed up because
I do
my
too,
brain.
to be honest.
If I read the books, I'd probably be able to keep them straight, because obviously at Two Towers they split and go on entirely different adventures in Return of the King. But
Well, I remember visually, like when I see the actor, I remember which one did what, but I can never remember which. Yeah, I was just about to say which one I think it was, but yeah, I always get the two names confused, so I'm not even going to try. I'll get it wrong.
I always love that clip of him pretending to interview Elijah Wood. In this movie, do you wear
Oh.
wigs? No. Did you think about wearing wigs? No. Will you wear wigs? No.
Did you
Why
say
not wear
will you?
wigs? When will you wear wigs?
Doesn't he eventually reveal himself and like isn't Elijah Wood kind of like, oh fuck you?
I don't
Like
remember.
in
I
a
thought
happy
Elijah
way,
Wood was
right? Like,
looking
oh
straight
dude,
at him.
fuck you. Oh, I thought it was. Wasn't there one where he didn't know that he was being interviewed by one of his buddies?
Oh, I don't know.
I'm almost sure there was. Yeah, I think Elijah Wood did an interview where he didn't realize that it was one of the Lord of the Rings friends, like setting him up. Someone was. I'm almost sure. I
They've
know
done
Elijah
stuff in
Wood
the
went through
decades
that
since.
interview.
Because I
They
know
what?
I know at the very least they've done stuff in the decades since. Because I know at the very least the four hobbits are all still very much friends. I want to say more or less the entire Fellowship are all still friends.
Yeah, for the most part, I think John Rhys Davies is the only one who's kind of prickly about it.
And that's
I
because
actually just saw.
John Rhys Davies seems like just fundamentally a I am here for a paycheck sort of actor.
Yeah, I a little bit ago today, actually, not too long before we started the recording, I saw an interview with him that was about 4 or 5 minutes long. He was saying how he went to, he at first he didn't even want to take the part. He figured that it wouldn't be a success. He thought, well, I mean, whatever, maybe I'll just go to New Zealand and take a look at it and see how pretty it is and fly home. And he said that his kids convinced him like, no, it's a big deal or whatever. And he was like, yeah, okay. I thought, all right, fine. But he said, yeah, but then they said that they wanted me to be this character, and it's like, man, I really don't want to go through all the makeup, and he just sounded like every part of it he didn't want to have anything to do with, and that's
He didn't
just
want to do
so
the fight scenes either, notoriously.
really. I don't know that story. What's that about?
I believe the whole thing was like he was supposed to be given complicated fight choreography like Viggo Mortensen and Orlando Bloom and all them, but he just started saying, "No, fuck you. Here's what it's gonna be." Orc 1 runs up at me, I slap him with the axe prop. Orc 2 runs up at me, I'm gonna slap him with the axe prop. Orc 3 runs at me, I'm gonna slap him at the axe prop. And you guys just fix it in editing.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, he's the only one, and he's certainly not obligated to have done this, but the famous story is he's the only one of the entire main Fellowship cast who did not get a tattoo, an elvish tattoo celebrating their fellowship.
Yeah.
Every one of them from the Hobbits to Gandalf got one, but he didn't. It went to his stuntman instead, who I think he himself might have said this, that he was like, yeah, he was in the movie as much as I was anyway. Yeah. It feels so... I left this very comment on the video I was just talking about. It feels just wrong, though. It feels incomplete. It's like the Fellowship isn't complete. All of them got tattoos except just the one. Even Boromir, Sean Bean, he had one, but not Gimli.
And Gimli's
Ain't
the
right, man.
friendliest member of the Fellowship.
He's the what?
And Gimli's like the cuddliest member of the Fellowship, bar maybe Sam.
Yeah, it seemed that way. Yeah, real letdown. Just to, I mean, again, not that he's, an asshole or anything, but it's like, he just didn't seem like he really was super invested in making those movies.
Yeah. Yep. Like, usually, like, the working actor is a very humble mentality, but it does sometimes lead to working actors who are just dicks. They're like, I don't care about movies. I'm just here to get paid. And it's a little disappointing.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, he didn't cast quite that attitude. But then again, it was only a 4-minute long thing. But he definitely did, seem to suggest that it was like, well, I did it and it was kind of fun and all that, but it was really kind of a pain in the ass. Like he everything he was saying about it was negative. Like he wasn't pissing and moaning, but he was like, well, yeah, and then I mean, who really wants to go through all that makeup? And yeah, I mean, it's a very big commitment to be there for 3 years. It just, again, it was an isolated clip from what was clearly a longer interview.
He wasn't indie 20 years earlier, where it's like, yeah, I'm an Arab dude. I didn't go through the makeup booth much. I'm an Arab dude. Just deal with
it. Yeah, times were simpler back then.
And I love that character. I love Salah. He's a fun dude.
Salah, yeah.
It always cracks me up that it's John Rhys Davies, who's super English and white in the role.
In the interview, he seemed very English. I don't know if I don't know his actual country of origin, his upbringing.
He's definitely English.
Okay, yeah, he came across that way.
He may be ethnically something else. I haven't done that much research on him, but he's very English.
Okay. Yeah, he definitely sounded English. Okay, why is there another one of these fucking strays out here in the daytime? I don't remember. Did we conclude that these guys don't despawn?
I don't remember. I never experimented with it myself. I was just around when you were checking on it.
That one I think actually wasn't a stray. I think that was a pillager because he up close he looked like the dark villager character, and when I hit him he was like ow.
Yeah, that would be a pillager.
I guess so. Then the pillagers and the strays kind of mingle. I guess they're around the same area together. I suppose I just haven't seen one in a while. It's all been strays since then.
Well, I think the pillagers probably are for the village or the tower, while the strays are for the Arctic.
Where was I in relation to the tower? Yeah, I was close enough that he probably could have wandered.
Done it!
What'd you do?
I've acquired honey!
Now what are you gonna do with it?
I have no idea.
Oh. Well,
shove it up your ugly ass.
Jeez.
That's right, shove it up your ugly ass.
So mean.
Fuck you, Baltimore.
Now I remember it.
And that check button off bouncer, you're a dead motherfucker.
Was that another line?
Probably break the campfire before it sets everything on fire. Kills us all.
Yeah, if you don't get to it in time, it might still burn the bees. Well, depending on where it is, I guess.
It's a campfire. It's not a full-blown fire. It's not going to spread out of control.
We don't know that.
Getting to the end of this fettuccine Alfredo.
Yeah, I need to eat something. I mean, to be fair, earlier I had a grilled cheese and fries, so I can't, act like I had some good food very recently. But I'm hungry again, and I want something now.
2.
What did you say, me too?
Yeah, I said me too.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I should cut this recording because it's gone on for a long while. And the last 15 minutes of it have probably just been me slurping.
They have. But that's all right.